The Big 10 Questions. Most people know what an allergy is, or they think they do. However, understanding the differences between allergies, intolerances, and even sensitivities can be quite confusing. The good news is, how you manage orders, be it for an allergy, intolerance, or sensitivity, generally speaking, will be largely the same with a few exceptions. The most important aspect to remember is that regardless of the type of reaction, you should always take the customer's concerns seriously. By not doing so, you put a customer's health at risk, your job on the line, potentially increase your company's liability, and lose business. When we refer to food throughout all of your certification, we're referring to beverages as well. Beverages often contain ingredients including hidden allergens that can cause a reaction. Drinks are a huge part of service, so always remember to apply all of the DynaWare principles to beverages as well.
Number 1. What is a food allergy? Food allergies are often taken quite seriously in the food and beverage industry because the reactions can be immediate and the consequences fatal. The most important facts to understand about a food allergy are the following. The food that causes an allergic reaction is called an allergen. Immediately, or very soon after ingesting a food that someone is allergic to, they experience an immune system reaction. An immune system reaction can have a range of serious consequences that can lead to death. Food allergy reactions can create skin reactions, like hives, respiratory reactions such as swollen airways, cardiovascular reactions, like a fast heartbeat, digestive issues, such as diarrhea. Anaphylaxis is a term for a food allergy reaction that progresses quickly and becomes life-threatening.
Number 2. What is a food intolerance? Food intolerances are, unfortunately, taken less seriously because they are not immediately life-threatening. However, food intolerances can cause serious reactions for some, and if left untreated can lead to serious diseases and disorders over time, including death. The primary difference with a food intolerance is that its reaction in the body is related to the digestive system. Adding to the confusion, as we will soon see, this is not always the case. For example, celiac disease, which includes immune system reactions. However, for the purposes of our understanding, a food intolerance most often results in digestive distress reactions, for example, diarrhea.
Number 3. What is a food sensitivity? Food sensitivity can be mistaken by people as a food allergy due to the range of symptoms associated with the reaction. Essentially, a person with a food sensitivity has a negative reaction to a food. For example, headaches, nausea, diarrhea, that can be unpredictable in terms of frequency. A person with a food sensitivity can eat a certain food sometimes and have no effects, but at other times will have a reaction. It's unknown why this occurs.
Number 4. What are the differences? Simply put, food allergies create immune system reactions which can lead to death. Food intolerances most often create digestive system reactions that can have serious consequences. Food sensitivities can be unpredictable, are not fully understood, and can create a range of negative reactions. Regardless of the differences, it's important to remember to exercise the golden rule of never, number 1, never assume you know more than you do. Your guest knows more about their body and health than you ever will. Nobody wants to be responsible for causing a reaction. Your attitude, actions, and awareness all contribute to making sure this does not happen. Remember that FAI reactions are preventable.
Number 5. How much will cause a reaction? The reality is much, much smaller than you think. Of course, it depends on the type of food allergy or intolerance and the individual person. Each one is different. We'll talk about the ranges of reaction in more detail in the next unit, but here are a couple examples. For some very allergic individuals, for example with nut or seafood allergies, they only need to inhale or touch, not just ingest the food to have a reaction. For a person who is gluten intolerant or celiac, less than the size of a breadcrumb can induce a reaction that can take days, even weeks or longer to recover. Knowing this, it is very concerning that research shows that food and beverage staff significantly overestimate their knowledge about FAIs and severely underestimate how much it will take to cause a reaction. Remember, never assume. Never be dismissive. Never guess. Never take shortcuts. And never hide mistakes.
Number 6. What are the top 14 FAI? Top refers to the most common food allergies and intolerances that people can have a reaction to.
Number 7. What is an ingredient list? This is a full listing of each ingredient on a menu item, and that includes beverages. A proper ingredient list for FAI customers should identify any ingredients that contain a priority or hidden FAI.
Number 8. What is a hidden allergen? These are ingredients that come from a different source or are called a different name. This can become very problematic when reading food labels. When you are looking at an ingredient list, particularly on a package label, the FAI is not always so obvious. For example, if you are reading a food label to ensure it does not contain wheat for a guest that is gluten intolerant, and the ingredient list says it contains malt, you may think that the ingredient is safe for your customer. Unfortunately, you'd be wrong. Malt is produced from grains that contain gluten. Unless you had a proper ingredient list, you may not know this. This is why you should always follow golden rule of never, number 3. Never guess.
Number 9. What is cross-contact? Cross-contact is the process by which a safe or non-FAI ingredient becomes contaminated with an unsafe or FAI ingredient as a result of unintentional or sloppy practices. It's the same principle used in food safety for avoiding transferring bacteria from raw meat to other foods and surfaces.
Let's review the Big 10 questions. Food allergies can lead to anaphylaxis. A food intolerance is often related to digestive issues. Food sensitivities are negative reactions to a food. Aim to prevent reactions regardless of the type. The smallest amount of an allergen can trigger a reaction,